Welcome to Unfiltered, the podcast where real conversations meet real healing. I'm your host, Jackie Douglas-Jones, a mental health therapist, professional life coach, and feminine life strategist. Each episode, I endeavor to break down barriers to your personal mental healing process by bringing you raw, real, and authentic conversations, expert interviews, and inspiring testimonies. Let's get started.
Hi guys, my name is Michaela. In this session today, you will hear Jackie talking with her son Tayden. You will hear Tayden opening up about his own thoughts and memories of past and present anxiety, starting at a rather young age until the time of this recording in his late teens. Please enjoy this podcast.
Today's podcast is all about my beautiful son. We are so glad to have him here today. His name is Tayden. And thank you so much for joining us today, everyone. We continue with our exploration into anxiety and mostly how people experience anxiety. And today we're talking especially about how Tayden has experienced anxiety. As one of my children, I've told you before that all three of my children suffer with anxiety and they all have very different experiences with anxiety. So welcome, Tay.
Thank you.
Tay is 18 years old. For those of you who don't know, he is an incredible young kid with a mind that is geared towards psychology, which is an incredible thing for me because we talk a lot, we explore a lot, we read a lot. And him and I are pretty similar when it comes to solving conflict. And he's one of the people that I will usually ask for wisdom because he's wise beyond his years. So actually, I wanted to start off, say you've walked quite a road with mental health and it hasn't been the same road as most people. You've had a lot of different obstacles in your way. I wanted to ask you, when you were younger, I know we're diving straight in, but here we go.
Go for it.
So like when you were younger as a little kid, can you now looking back pinpoint one of the first times that you felt anxious or that you had anxiety? Can you maybe pinpoint one of those times or what it was?
Yeah, I think I have this like very vivid memory of when I was like 2, I think. Maybe I was 3. And it was before we went to junior school and everything. And I was in my class and I had messed cake on we were eating cake. It was somebody's birthday. And I'd messed cake on my t-shirt.
Oh, no.
And I literally started panicking because I was like, oh my gosh, like everybody's going to think I'm so weird. Like I've just messed cake on my t-shirt. Like I'm literally so scared right now. Everybody's going to, I'm so embarrassed. I feel like that was maybe embarrassment, but I was still like, I was so conscious of like, everybody.
And if I can ask you, do you remember at that moment where you felt it in your body? Like where exactly did you feel the anxiety in your body as a little 2-year-old kid?
It was always my heart. It was always racing.
Okay.
Yeah, my heart was always racing.
I can resonate with that because as a kid, you would say to me, I'm sore here, and you would put your hand on your chest. And I think maybe that was your heart racing that felt physically painful for you, perhaps as a little kid, because what does a 2-year-old know about how to express anxiety, right?
I know.
So that's quite interesting.
Yeah.
You've actually experienced more mental health than most kids. So if you could describe your journey with mental health in a few words, like give us a few ways that you would describe your mental health journey.
That's quite a hard question.
Would you say it's evolving, changing?
Yeah, I feel like it's always changing now.
Yes.
I feel like it's very like I'm very open-minded now, and I'm very trusting of like the process of healing and everything like that. But I think maybe overall my journey was difficult.
Yeah.
Maybe I was sort of isolated.
Did you feel trapped in a way?
I did feel trapped. Yeah. It was scary. Yeah. It was just.
Wow. Okay.
like terrifying.
Like when you say terrifying, and like, how did you feel in your body? Was it this state of sort of nervousness, maybe shaking, heart palpitations? Was it shortness of breath? Like, was your body very tense? Like, what, if you can remember, like what were the things that you felt growing up that were consistent with anxiety?
Growing up, it was stomach aches.
Yes, yeah. I remember that.
Yeah, it was stomach aches.
Right.
And I always used to tell you that I had my belly button was sore.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because the pain was like, it was sort of there. It was right underneath my belly button for some reason. I don't know why, but it was always there.
Could have also been the umbilical hernia.
Yes. See, because I didn't have the umbilical hernia.
Yes.
But I know that it was anxiety because it still happens to me today.
Exactly.
And so that was that feeling of being like really overwhelmed, really anxious.
Yes.
And when I just couldn't handle like the situation that I was in.
Do you think, like what I've just done now, like I've just realized what I did, which was what most parents do with kids, is that when the kid goes, it was right here, and the parent goes, oh, that's just probably, and I literally did just that.
No, see, because I thought, okay, yes, but I've thought about it, and I was like, the coincidence that it was actually also an umbilical hernia is quite funny.
Yeah.
Because I actually remember being like, my belly button is sore. We went to go get it checked. I had an umbilical hernia.
Yes.
So like, I know it was like a thing.
Yes, but the pain continued after. There was also pain after. But that's just very interesting, because what I just did is probably what most parents do. When their kids come to them and go like, oh, my chest is sore, oh, my stomach is sore, oh, it's like, oh my gosh, what have you eaten? Oh, it's probably just you ate this, or you ate that, or you drank that. Do you feel like most parents don't really clock on to the idea that perhaps it's something more than a stomach ache from eating something or drinking something? Or do you think that a lot of parents are quick to disregard that because, I mean, why should a child feel anxious? Or do you think that the psyche around that is now changing? The mentality around anxiety is now changing. And parents are getting more mindful of what their kids are experiencing. Like, what is your take from when you were growing up to now?
Yeah. Well, I think the idea that like pain in your body could be traced back to emotion is like a very foreign concept for parents, you know, especially when I was growing up. I didn't even know that was really a thing.
Okay, me either.
But you did sort of know, because when I had a stomach ache, you would tell me to sort of step aside and take time to myself, and like because you knew that I was sort of overwhelmed, right?
Yeah.
So you did know that it was.
I picked up on it. Obviously,
picked up on it,
yes. Yeah. Okay.
So I feel like it is a foreign concept to think about emotion being connected to pain in your body. But it is, right?
That's very interesting.
And so I think it's natural to ask, like, did you eat something, or did you what did you do today?
Yeah.
You know, did you overwork, whatever. But I think it's also just to take into consideration mentality.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
To like ask physically what you've been up to, but also mentally, emotionally, how you've been feeling, and see what adds up.
So I remember particularly as a young kid, you really used to struggle at parties. And I would often, within half an hour of being at the party, you would have a stomach ache. I remember I used to tell you to either jump on a trampoline, swing on a swing, almost to kind of reset your vestibular system, to try and get you to maybe just calm down a bit. What do you think triggered the anxiety, like at a party? Let's just talk to some parents out there who maybe have kids who are younger and are experiencing something similar, and parents are not quite sure what to do. So like for you, what was the thing that worked the most for you? And what was it that triggered it at a party particularly? Yeah.
So usually what triggered it for me was the feeling of being like I was alone, I don't know. I was a very shy
Yes.
kid. For most shy people, it's like it's very difficult to be around a lot of people,
right? And loud,
kids
and
screaming, everything. It's like it's really
chaotic
rough.
and overwhelming.
It's not fun.
Yeah.
And so when you really shy, it's difficult to like navigate that, you know. And so I think it's good to encourage parents to let their children like come to them and you know how parents always have this thing where they're like, I don't want my child to be antisocial. I don't want my child to like, you know, like
they must be polite and have manners.
Yeah,
and
they must
hug everybody and say hi.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
See, that's a really, really difficult thing for the kid, especially shy kids.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's like that might be triggering their anxiety or that feeling of being overwhelmed, right? Because it's like forcing them to be in a situation that they don't want to be in.
Yeah.
Right? Because we're all not like, how do you say people person?
Peoply. Like sometimes it's too peoply for you.
Yeah. Like, and
like
not all of us are like love people.
Yeah. So not all of you like are living your best life when you're in a crowd and people are mingling and chatting and having conversation like that. For you is just like not it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got you. Would you say that you're more of a one-on-one kind of kid? Like that's where you shine, like when you're actually having deep conversation with someone one-on-one?
Yeah, I feel like I definitely enjoy that more. But I also enjoy being seen in a crowd of people because, you know, growing up, I feel like we've gone off track.
That's okay. We can wind our way back. That's what we do.
Find our way back. But yeah, I feel like growing up, I always struggled to be seen. You know, I was never
that's real.
At the same time, I was never the center. I never wanted to be the center of attention.
Sure.
Right. But at the same time, I never felt like I even existed in the same world as anybody else.
Okay.
You know, and that can be sort of traced back to a few different things.
Sure.
Right. That we've figured out now.
Yeah.
But
taking us a while, but we got there.
Yeah. But it's that just that feeling of being so like isolated and alone that I think parents like really shouldn't ignore when their child says like if they don't want to be around people or like if they feel like being around people, they just
let's just say that louder for the people in the back because I think no judgment intended, but I think there are some parents who are so worried about what people will think that they don't realize the damage and the impact that is having on their child's psyche. So having the availability to be able to go to your parents and say, I'm feeling overwhelmed, can I go upstairs? And the parent going, take as much time as you need, I'll see you later. Like, is that what you kind of are leading to? Because I think a lot of parents are more concerned with how people view the family rather than what's happening with their child. Yeah. Right? Yeah. Got to have the manners.
Yeah.
Got to be present. Yes. Got to come down and say hello to everybody all the time.
Which, like, I don't even think is like a horrible thing.
No.
Right?
No.
Like, I can understand parents wanting their family to be involved.
Sure.
Like, everybody come down, say hi.
Because it makes sense,
show your
right?
face, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
I understand that. But it's like, there's sort of, it's better when the kid like knows that their parent will understand them if they need to remove themselves from the situation.
The parent is safe.
So so like it's like knowing that, because for me I feel more comfortable coming down, saying hello to everybody, engaging with everybody, being social when I know that I can remove myself at any point.
Okay.
Right?
And that there's, you're not going to get into trouble for doing that.
Get into trouble.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think it's like, I think family dynamics, you can't say that every family should be acting the exact same way, right?
Sure.
And everybody grows up differently. Everybody has different attitudes and different beliefs and whatever. So it's difficult to say that like going down and showing your face when your mom wants you to is a bad thing, right?
Sure.
It's not.
Yeah.
But it's like if your kid does, because for some people it's not a problem, right? For some kids it's like,
it's whatever. Fine. Like we're social beings. We'll do it. Yeah.
100%.
Totally.
But I think it's mainly for the people who experience anxiety and are just very shy. don't like to be social,
especially in a social setting. Okay,
yeah, I think it's more so just like letting those people feel safe enough to remove themselves, and
if they need to,
and talk to somebody when they feel like they need to just leave for a few seconds, you know.
Okay.
Because I think it's just, yeah, it's definitely, yeah, it's just about communication. Everything's about communication all the time.
100%.
Hi everyone, this is Tayden speaking. Before we continue with this interview, I want to share a bit about myself and why this conversation matters. This episode was recorded back in 2024, about 2 years after I celebrated quite a significant milestone in my life. I'm a proud transgender man. Embracing my identity has been a unique and challenging, but overall transformative experience, which started when I first came out at 15. If you're interested in hearing more about my story, how I navigated challenges, found support, and learned to celebrate who I am, I suggest you follow and subscribe to this podcast. Your support helps us bring more honest conversations and resources to those who need them. Moving on, in the remaining section of this podcast, I continue with sharing my experiences with anxiety, the strategies I've used to cope, and how sharing my truth has helped me, and hopefully can help you too.
When you were younger, did you feel safe enough to express your anxiety? Being dead honest, dead honest.
I think it's difficult to say whether I felt safe or whether I just didn't even understand what I was feeling myself, you know.
Right.
But I think to say I didn't feel safe enough because I'd never heard anybody else speak about it.
Right.
So it's so I thought it was.
So we hadn't actually explained to you that anxiety was something that people feel.
Yeah.
And that it was okay to feel that, and that you were allowed to express that.
Yeah.
So would you say that as a kid, you were a kid who needed precise explanation or advice on what was happening? Like you needed specifics. Would you say that?
I think so. I think the thing is we were always allowed to feel nervous. Right?
Yeah.
We were always allowed to feel nervous. We were allowed to say, if we were about to go on stage, you know, you were always very encouraging when I was nervous. You know, you always acknowledged what I was feeling and everything like that. So I feel like being nervous was fine. That was a very normal feeling. But there was that anxiety about something that people would be like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. Like, why do you feel like that? You know, it's that type of anxiety that nobody would talk about growing up, because it's I think it's just because it wasn't spoken about that makes you feel unsafe to bring it up.
Sure.
But then also because nobody talks about it, you don't even know what you're feeling.
And would you say that feeling of anxiety kind of permeated your entire existence? Like it went from social settings into maybe a classroom setting, into maybe a sports setting, into maybe and if it did, what were the different coping mechanisms? It's a big question, I know. I think we're going to have to do a part 2.
Yeah.
But so we've acknowledged the fact that you suffered from anxiety from a young age. And as your mother, I can definitely say that you were very different to your siblings in the way that you handled yourself, and also really struggled to express your emotions out loud. Yeah. I remember receiving letters from you on my pillow. Yeah. I remember you whispering in my ear because that was easier. I remember that your way of communication was very, very different to the other 2 siblings. And I remember your dad saying very clearly, why doesn't he like to sit on my lap? Why doesn't he? And I remember saying to Daddy, he's the kid, you have to earn his trust. He's a very shy kid and he does love you and he does want to be with you. He just doesn't know how to go about doing it.
Yeah.
And I remember that once Daddy started investing in you and really started kind of singling you out, so to speak, and spending time with you, your relationship changed. We went hurtling into high school, 14 years of age, and COVID hit, and then things changed drastically for you. So there were many battles that you would have to fight mentally. You went through quite a number of things up to today, and especially from the 14 to 16 age.
Sure.
It was really, really heavy. Would you agree?
Definitely. Yes.
So how would you say your anxiety changed as you hit those teenage years? Like, what was that like?
So one thing that I actually realized is that I was dissociated basically for like
big word,
the entirety of junior school.
Wow, right? That's big. That's huge.
Kind of just did everything, got on with life, did what people told me without thinking about it.
So can we just explain dissociation for those parents who are tuning in and maybe don't know what that means, or maybe for a kid who's tuning in, young kid 14 to 18 age group who's tuning in, who maybe doesn't know what that word means? Can we explain dissociation?
Yeah. So I'm not a doctor. So I'm not
in layman's terms.
I'm not going to, yeah. So for my experience with dissociation, it'll be different for like different people, right?
Sure.
So my experience with dissociation is basically being removed from what's happening in front of me, like being mentally removed
but physically still there.
Physically still there, but being mentally somewhere completely different.
Got you.
And just sort of living, but not living.
Got you. Yeah. Existing. Basically just existing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm not thinking about what's happening right in front of me.
You're not like present in the moment.
I kind of take it as like I'm behind myself.
Right.
And my physical self is moving, but my emotional self is kind of just standing there like
frozen in time.
Frozen, nothing's happening. I'm just watching myself just get on and do things without thinking or things like that, you know? And to bring it back to the question that you asked first, how that anxiety changed, is because when I went to high school, I took that as my way to reestablish myself and to step into myself finally, and to like really pay attention to what I was feeling, what I was thinking, who I was as a person, like sort of that I had never experienced before. It's a coping mechanism because it sort of gets you away from the feelings.
But the thing is, the feelings are big.
They're
the
huge.
Emotions and the feelings are big.
Yeah.
And if you don't know how to process those emotions, and you don't know that you're allowed to feel those emotions, which many kids really don't know, and many parents don't even know, it's almost like water building up behind a damn wall, and then making a decision to reinvent yourself kind of broke the damn wall, and everything came rushing out, like cascading, monumentally.
I think it's also a coping mechanism for people who feel that they're out of control, right? So it's like, it's not being able to control anything, what people say about you, what people are doing around you, or your feelings, you can't control them. And so once I didn't really make a decision to be like, okay, I'm going to not dissociate now, obviously, because that's, how does that work? But it was like a sort of mindset change where I was like, okay, I'm growing up. I want to step out of this environment that I'd grown up in, because I hate it.
Little mold that everyone's kind of put you in.
Yes,
got you.
And I was like, I sort of started finding my worth a little bit. Right. And I started finding who I was as a person, and like I was like, I'm going to grow up, I'm going to find what I'm interested in, everything like that. And so I stepped into myself and I was like, okay, let's see where this takes me.
Sure.
Right. So obviously that came with a lot of different emotions.
Yeah.
Beginning of high school was fine. I really enjoyed it. I loved it so much. It was so much fun. Still had like major imposter syndrome, feeling
valid,
completely different,
right,
to everybody else.
Which you were.
But high school is such a much bigger environment that there's so many more people.
Sure.
So it was much easier for me to find people that I could relate to.
And a freedom to explore, right?
Freedom to explore, yeah.
Yeah. Got you.
But anyways, once COVID hit, that's when everything just went downhill.
Right.
Right. But in a good way and a bad way.
Okay, let's go with the good first.
Okay,
tell us the good ways. Tell us the good ways.
So the good way was that I took that as an opportunity to get to know myself.
Right.
Right. So
wasn't that scary?
Yes.
Okay.
It was scary, but it also kind of was inevitable.
True.
Because you're alone with your own thoughts most of the time.
Right? And COVID was very lonely.
It was very lonely, yeah. And so with social media as well, so many different topics started coming up. Right? Like so many things that I had never heard of before, like the LGBT community, right?
Yes.
There were so many different things within that community that I'd never considered or heard about, and there was representation of so many different types of people that I didn't ever see before COVID.
Yeah.
Right. Mental health representation hadn't really kicked in yet.
No.
But it was more so that it was more so identity and different types of people that started coming
to the fore,
to the surface. Yeah. And so once I started seeing all these different types of people, all these different sort of labels, I was like, damn, I got some things to sort out, right? I've got
recognize this.
Yeah. I started relating to things that I didn't want to relate to.
Yes. That's incredibly hard. What you just said, that you started relating to things that you didn't actually want to relate to, but they were proving very true for you. Yes, and that was really unsettling.
Yeah.
Right.
And
okay.
That was probably around 2021.
Yeah.
And that's where my anxiety really
ramped up.
Skyrocketed.
Yeah. I remember.
Because I was like, I don't want to deal with that.
No.
I don't want to have to.
And one can understand why, because let's face it, most of the LGBTQIA plus community are judged and criticized and hated on for merely existing. Right.
Exactly.
So who would really want that?
Yeah.
Who would choose that?
Yeah, exactly. And in concepts so foreign to me.
Yeah.
It's now something that I suddenly feel completely connected to.
Yeah.
Whilst it's still being a completely foreign concept.
Right.
So I was so confused.
Sure.
But I suppressed most of that, most of my realizations within my identity and everything like that.
Yeah.
I suppressed a lot of it because other things were happening within our family.
Yeah.
Right.
There was a lot.
Yes. There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
And like I said, I was in the shadows. I was in the background.
It's that whole thing of being unseen.
Yeah.
I was just got you.
I was at the back.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Can I just say, through your whole journey, you were deeply forgiving of how we handled it and how we reacted to certain things. You had a level of forgiveness and understanding that was completely miraculous and beyond your years. And I think if you hadn't have been the way that you were, we might have ended up in a very different place. I just wanted to say that.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. I think one thing I was actually going to bring up is that I think the reason that I was so forgiving and understanding was because I'm a very nonchalant person.
Yeah.
I'm kind of just okay,
cool.
But also my interest in psychology helped me understand, and it helped me it helped me understand why people think a specific way or do specific things or act a specific way. Right.
When did you start going to therapy? I can't really remember. I just knew that you had to go, and I remember telling you, like, I think you need to go and talk to someone, and you were like, you weren't so like happy with the idea. And then we found our beautiful therapist who is amazing and has been in your life for a while. But like, how long ago was that? Can you remember?
Almost 4 years ago. I was 15. I just turned 15.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, carrying on.
Yeah. And the thing about therapy was, for me, it was that somebody was looking at me. I was talking and they were listening.
Wow.
And that's all that it was.
Yep.
That's basically all that therapy is listening. You know, is having somebody give their undivided attention to you.
Which, to be honest, was very difficult in our household, considering we're a family of 5.
Yeah.
And bigger families will understand what I'm saying. As a parent, you love your kids equally, but each kid needs something different. And sometimes, as a parent, your capacity to give them what they need is in short supply. And so sometimes the needs of your kids go unchecked. And as a parent who left my sweet son's needs unchecked, I will tell you that being able to own that goes a long way to establishing a deep and meaningful relationship with your kid, where communication is open and honest, and they know that they can come to you with anything and everything. You may not always like it, but you will be available to listen. So as a parent who essentially, it was definitely a relief.
Yes, it was definitely a relief, but it was very uncomfortable because I was not used to that. I was not used to hearing my own thoughts come out of my mouth.
Right.
Right.
Would you say that a lot of your thoughts had just been dormant? And because, as I said in our previous podcast, we spoke about how as a kid you found it incredibly difficult to voice your emotions and to put words to the feelings that you were having. And now all of a sudden you thrust into that place where you're almost not forced, but encouraged to put words and thoughts to those emotions. Yeah. Can you just walk us through what that felt like in terms of being able to actually speak out loud?
Yeah, it definitely, I feel like it was a relief. Like, that's definitely the most accurate description.
So almost like someone kind of breathing for the first time, like that big.
Yeah. But it was also like, it was uncomfortable. It was really uncomfortable. But getting past that was so nice, because then I could have somebody's objective opinion, right, of like what was happening in my life and how I was feeling. And somebody could actually listen to what I was saying, properly listen to what I was saying, properly hear me.
Yep.
And sometimes here and there advise me.
Yeah.
Sometimes even just repeat my own thoughts back to
you.
Yeah.
Valid. Yeah.
And then just hear it myself and then be like, okay, cool. I'm not crazy, you know?
Because let's be honest, you did think for a time that like you as a person were just wrong.
Yeah.
Like your existence was wrong.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Is that fair to say?
Yeah. And I mean, I still, like, to this day, I still struggle with those types of feelings, you know?
Wow.
But I'm not going to get, it's not really going to go away. I don't believe that it's really going to go away. But those types of feelings would never go away for anybody, I feel like. And it's, the reasons for those feelings are different for every person.
Sure.
But the way that we manage them is important, right? So I manage them very differently compared to how I used to.
Yeah.
Right.
Can we talk about the hoodie?
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
The cocoon.
Yeah.
So parents, listen up a little bit to this. If your teenager is wearing that hoodie and the hoodie is
in the height of summer
and covering their head, and when people are struggling, especially teenagers with anxiety, one of the things they need is comfort and cocooning. So what was the hoodie for you?
The hoodie was my escape.
Right.
That was like I would put it on. Nobody talked to me.
Yep. That's exactly the communication. Yeah.
I was like, I don't exist.
I'm invisible.
I'm literally invisible. Nobody say a single word to me. Nobody look at me. Nobody talk to me. Nobody acknowledge me. Nobody perceive me.
Right.
Right.
It's a lot.
I'm going to
live my life without you.
Yeah.
Yes.
And everybody commented on it.
Right.
Everybody was like, aren't you hot? It's like 30 degrees. Oh. Yes.
Yes, I am sweltering underneath this.
Yes. Yeah. I'm hot, but I don't want to be here right now. You know? So the hoodie, when I would put it over my head, it gave me that comfort. And it let me like sort of sink into myself.
All right.
So that I could, it's kind of just like shutting doors.
Yep.
You know, in front of me.
Yep. Yep.
And then just guarding myself.
Yes.
Right. And so now when I wear a hoodie, if I put the hood on my head, I feel very disconnected from everything going on around me. And I don't like to feel like that because obviously that's how I felt my whole life, basically.
Yeah.
So now I really don't like that feeling of being disconnected.
So that's a big change though.
Yeah.
That's a massive change.
Yeah. And it's weird how an item of clothing does that.
Can make such a difference.
Right. But it's like usually that's how we sort of, it's how our emotions like manifest themselves, right? Is through clothing,
right?
Which is a big thing. That was also something that I experimented with and used to help communicate my feelings.
Yes.
Which a lot of people do.
Yes.
It's so common. But wearing a hoodie in the height of summer was,
in a household of 8+.
Yeah. Was just me signaling my insecurity.
Yeah.
First of all, with my body, but second of all, just with my existence.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
But it was almost like more attention was drawn to me because I was wearing a hoodie, you know, which is kind of weird to think about, but
it is. But I also think our perception of the hoodie changed when we learned more about what you were going through.
Yeah.
And so I think as parents, we were able to fight for you on a different level.
Yeah.
When we understood why you felt the need to wear that hoodie and we stopped challenging you on it.
Yeah.
And I think what parents forget a lot of the time is that they were teenagers too. But their experience of being teenager might be very different to what their teenager is going through.
And that's the thing, right? Like,
in my day,
girl, come on. Like, okay, I get it. I understand. Right. But like, come on, right? Things are not gonna, things are going to change.
Things change. People change. Times change. It's
not my fault
the program
that I have phones and you didn't. Like, what has that got to do with me? I'm sorry. You know?
Yeah, like help me out a little. Like, give me some leeway.
It's really like, my bad.
Yeah. Sorry.
You know?
Yes.
Like, it's like, it's funny when people, when older people do that. And I get the not being able to really understand that change and adapting to such huge changes is like, it's a big thing. And
it is a big thing.
It's difficult for anybody.
Yeah.
Right. But it's inevitable.
True.
Like, change will happen between generations.
Yes.
Right. And there's no reason to pass judgment on generations that come after us because it's what humanity is. We're constantly evolving
and changing and growing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And
that's your take on it.
My take on it.
So for us, the hoodie was signaling quite a lot of things for us. The hoodie was signaling that you were in trouble.
Yeah.
The hoodie was signaling that you needed help. The hoodie was signaling that you were not comfortable in your environment. The hoodie was signaling that there was a struggle, an internal struggle that was happening, and that we didn't know the full story. If you look back now at the 14 to 16 year kind of age group, what are your thoughts on how parents can kind of be there for their kid, especially the kid who is going through a lot of crises, identity crises, friendship crises, popularity, school? Like, what is your, like, if you look back now and you say, gosh, I really wish that this had been done, like, what would you say are some of the important things that parents can do for their teenagers?
I think asking questions.
Okay.
Because that's kind of showing that you are acknowledging the fact that your kid is saying something. Yeah. Asking questions. Also, I think not giving your opinion on what your kid is saying.
That's so big.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. Go.
Obviously, unless they ask for it, right?
Yeah, okay.
But it's like
unsolicited advice.
Yeah. And it's like sometimes your kid doesn't need that.
Right.
Sometimes your kid's like, this is what I'm feeling. This is what I need.
End of story.
And then the parent's like, oh, well, I think. And your kid's like, well, thanks.
That is great.
That really doesn't change the way that I'm feeling at all, you know?
Yeah, manipulate the child's behavior to suit the narrative that they've played out in their minds.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a really big statement. So parents have mental health issues too.
Everybody.
I'm just saying.
Parents are people.
Yep. But I think you went through so much in those formative years. And like, what would you say to Tay 14 to 16? What would you say to him now?
Wow. I've actually thought about that before. I'd say plain and simple, just keep going, you know? Just go easy on yourself.
Right.
Go easy on yourself. Keep going. Because it really, if I think about myself back then, that's really the only thing that would have helped.
Yeah, it's going to be okay.
Even the it's going to be okay can be a difficult thing to hear
because it really doesn't feel okay at the time.
Yeah, because you're like, what are you on? Like, I'm literally.
This does not feel okay.
I'm literally like hanging on by a thread.
You were hanging on by a thread. You really, really were.
So I think it's just to hear somebody say, yeah, you know, yes, you are hanging on by a thread. Like, I see you. What you're going through is crazy, you know, but it's like, just keep trying.
Okay.
You know, just keep going.
Okay.
Don't put pressure on yourself. To just chill out. Don't take things too seriously. Like, honestly, it's not that serious. At the end of the day. Yeah. Nothing is that serious.
So I want to ask you the last question. Well, before I actually ask you the last question, I would say, how has your view on anxiety changed in the latter part of your teenage years? Because you're 18 now. You've gone through a lot. Between the ages of like 16 and 18, we worked incredibly hard as a family to create a safe space for our kids and to make sure that we changed our behavior to really kind of showcase the work that we had done and to make sure that our kids knew that they were safe. How has your approach to anxiety changed now as an older teen?
The way that my perspective of it has changed is that I know that it's good to just feel it and just like
acknowledge it.
Acknowledge it.
Okay.
Cry if I need to cry. right? Like do everything that I need to do to feel it completely, but then not let it control me, and sort of let myself just like breathe through it, right? But it's like, I think it's that I view it as like, it's not going to go away.
No.
Right? So it's just to like get through it and just to take it easy, go easy on myself.
Yeah.
Don't force myself to do anything.
Lovely.
Because once you do get through it and you're feeling more like yourself, then you can get up and do all those usual things that you usually, that you do, that you like good at doing, right?
Well, you're amazing at looking after your body. And that's something that I really want to emphasize. I mean, for those of you that don't know, Tay also has Crohn's disease, which is a huge thing in someone's life. But any kind of stress or anxiety can cause a Crohn's flare-up. So Tay's really had to learn to manage his anxiety and to really be honest about where he's at with his anxiety. So to end off, I just want to ask you what advice you would give, firstly, to parents of young children, teenagers, young adults on anxiety. Off the top of your head, the one thing you said earlier was communication.
It's communication, yeah. I think to just ask your child what they need and just give them what they need.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Just
to let go of the control and just ask what is needed here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got you.
And if you don't necessarily want them to, I don't know, if they want to go up to their room and chill there for the entire day, even if you don't really want that and you're like, seriously, come now, just let them do it.
Let it be what it is.
Yeah, just let it happen, because your child will be grateful.
Yeah.
Will appreciate the fact that you've let them do that and heard them. Yeah, so I feel like just listening.
The opinions and thoughts expressed in this podcast are personal and specific. While we are sure you will get a lot of valuable information from this podcast, please be advised that this is not professional medical advice unless specified otherwise. Please consult your medical professional before making any changes to your wellness regime.